everybody, this is Annie Noodle and I'm standing really close to my plants and I don't know why. But outside it has finally changed from awkward and kind of worryingly warm to snow. So I thought we could paint some Christmas ornaments today. Alright, so let's do that. Look at that squirrel fluffing around in my yard. This is a voiceover Annie Noodle, and I will be your narrator for the rest of this art journey. Here I am showing off the strange thrifted container that I keep my Turner Acryla Gouache in. And the reason I keep it in there is to help it stay fresh. It's a sealed container, so hopefully the paint won't dry out. And so far, so good. So I kind of had the idea that I wanted all of these ornaments to have the same basic colorway. And that doesn't mean they're going to have the same colors, just that I don't want to have 20 colors when I could just have, 5 or 6 colors across all of them. Yeah, not complicated. I'm really still liking Turner Acryla Gouache. It has a nice consistency if you add just a tiny bit of water. And it's very pigmented, so I usually don't feel like I have to go over things more than once. Yeah, I did a little bit here on these ornaments just because, I got these at Michael's, and, if you notice, they all just have, a circle of gesso on them, and it's really, I think it's just stamped onto them, and I didn't go back and redo anything, so they haven't really been sanded, and their gesso was not super great, so I was just like, I'll just do a couple coats with acrylic gouache, and we'll be good there. These ornaments I am planning on bringing to my booth at my art fair that I'm going to in, it's just a week away now. I'm getting nervous. Yeah, so, the director was like, hey, this is, getting to be Christmas time, so maybe your booths could have a Christmas vibe. And I was like, okay, well, I will bring lights, and I bought some, little tabletop trees that, I personally just wanted for my house, so I will bring them there and put them up in my booth, and I could paint some ornaments, and yeah, maybe people will want to buy them, and maybe they won't. The main point of me having a booth there is to have my original art paintings up and to hopefully sell some prints, since I just spent a whole bunch of time and money on my new printer. Hopefully people will like my art and want to buy prints. This will be my first art festival that I go to that I actually had to pay a booth fee to get into. So usually it's I've really only done one before, I think, and it's a very small town one. So this one's a little bigger. So I'm really interested to see how people in my hometown react to my art. And I am a Christian, so when I say Christmas, that has a very specific meaning to me. So I definitely wanted one of my ornaments to have a cross on it. So that is not me telling you how to live your life. I wanted a cross. And I actually think it turned out really cool. So I was trying to get a gradient on here, so I painted a base coat in all yellow, just to help make the gradient easier to achieve. And then I realized that first yellow I used was day glow yellow. It hurt my eyes, so I went over it with a little bit subtler yellow. And I feel like these paints blend fairly easily. I did not have a problem getting these to blend to a fairly good gradient, I think. Yeah, so Turner Acryla Gouache is awesome if you want to try something that might be A little bit less pricey than the Holbein acrylic gouache, which I know is like all over the place as well. And these go on sale a lot too, I've noticed. So, but I think they're still artist quality paints, I would say. So, to make getting this gradient easier, I masked the edge of the cross so that I could just paint over it and get a gradient that way, because the idea of painting a gradient inside of lines carefully, just, nope, not doing that. And it worked pretty good. Like I said, I got these from Michael's, and the surface was not prepped super well, so it's not super smooth. So there are some spots where it got underneath the tape, but I mean, all in all, I think it turned out pretty okay. And at the end, I just did some touch-ups, and yeah, it's fine. So I also like word puns, and I'm sure that you guys can't really see very well what's written on this, but it says have a very Merry Christmas, so I'm painting pears. Plus, pears have like a Christmas vibe, right? Like a partridge in a pear tree. You think of pears when you think of Christmas, right? So, really, the point of these, other than to make decorations for my booth, was just to give me something very low stress to do, that still made me feel like I was getting something done for my booth. But this really was just like, I just want to paint and have fun and do a video and chit chat. And I have a lot of bigger things coming up in the future after my show when I can concentrate more on my channel again. So stay tuned for those. I am going to get into molding and sculpting a lot more this winter, I think, and also doing resin casting. So those things are coming. My channel is always going to be Annie Noodle does 500 things because she likes to do all of the art things. So hopefully it'll never get boring for you or me. And if there's anything that you are interested in that you would like to see me do on my channel, just drop a note in the comments and I will see what I can do about doing that. So here you can see that I'm just trying my hand at lettering, which is not going super great on a rough surface, I will tell you. It turns out okay, but like, it could have been better. But brush lettering is not something I'm super great at anyways, so it's always a challenge. So I saw this really great quote from artist and a filmmaker, Sean Tan, and he said the way he designs creatures is like he always thinks that they would be like friends with us rather than like, you know, trying to kill us. And I'm very much paraphrasing there. I can't remember the actual quote to save my life right now. But that is the essence of the quote, is he designs his creatures to be like our buddies. And I was like, oh, well, that's how I see them too. Like, it just never occurred to me that that was like my philosophy towards monsters until I heard somebody else say it. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's how I feel. Oh, okay. So I've been really trying to like apply that to my art lately and to just how I see, honestly, things in general. Like, um, having your worldview explained to you makes you kind of, look at things in a different light. You're like, oh, there's a different light shining on that now. And so I see it slightly differently and it's more interesting. And it was so, like, for such a short quote, it was just such a huge inspiration, and I'm like so excited to get started on sculpting and painting after this show is done. Yeah, I am really, really excited for all of the things that are coming up that I will hopefully get to share with all of you guys too. Actually, one of the big things that is definitely coming up is getting more into editing my videos. As I've talked about before, my laptop just can't support me editing. So, like, I have a camera that I can use, but I've just been using my phone this whole time because my laptop is old and it just can't handle it. So I just record on my phone. I edit on my phone. Everything's on my phone. I'm looking at my phone screen right now doing this voiceover. So, but my friend and I are going to do computer shopping for me, so that I can get a good editing desktop computer. And I am really excited to get into editing. I think that's going to be really fun. I think it's just a different kind of art medium. You know, as I said, I want to do all of the art things. So, and I wish I could remember who it was, but I have watched a lot of YouTube videos in the last week, and somebody just said, "Oh, I think it was Bill from Bill Making Stuff." Yeah, and if you don't follow his channel, you should. I'll try to remember to put a link. But he said if you're going to do videos for YouTube, you should approach the video itself as a kind of art, as a craft that you should try to master. And I was like, that's a really good point. And I think I'm really going to enjoy editing and getting into more of like the narrative side of videos. I think that's going to be really fun, and hopefully will make watching my videos a more enjoyable experience for you guys too. Yeah. So dragons are Christmassy, right? If they're gold and shiny and they have a star, right? They're definitely Christmassy then, right? Yeah, I think so too. So, um, this is at this point me adding little details into this little dragon guy. And again, I wanted all of these ornaments to have the same feeling to them. So they all have outlines and they're all pretty simple. I don't know if I talked about this at all, but I really just designed these by drawing a circle that was approximately the size of the circle and doing like a 5-minute sketch and then just like going, yeah, that's good enough. And I didn't even use transfer paper or anything. I just resketched it on the ornament. Like, these are not supposed to be super fancy. Each of these takes me 5 hours. Like, again, low key, relaxing painting fun. Yes. And I mean, sometimes that comes back to bite you, right? So the 4 ornaments that are in this video, I think turned out pretty cute. But there are 5 ornaments in this set. Um, and I will probably show you my oops ornament at the end. It's, I am embarrassed by it, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not okay. And it's my fault for like just doing a super quick. I don't even think I did a sketch on paper for that one. I think I just sketched right onto the wood and painted, and I was like, oh, yeah, that one's not salvageable. And if you notice, I'm in fact making the dragon smiley, because yeah, I'm sure that like after this like original like everything should be smiley like mentality wears off, I will occasionally have things that aren't just cute and smiley, but right now I'm painting Christmas ornaments, so no grumpy dragon on my Christmas ornaments. I guess he might be a wyvern, some sort of dragon beastie. no grumpy winged lizard guy on my Christmas ornament. Also wanted to say thanks again for sticking with me while I didn't really post in October, and I've been trying to get back onto a actual schedule in November, and it hasn't been working super great. I think I'm gonna try to be posting on Fridays, so if you don't see a video from me on a Friday, you're like, you know that I'm messing up again. And it is Friday morning right now, and I'm recording the voiceover for this, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm yeah, getting ready for my getting my booth stuff ready is a lot of work. And this is my first real booth, so like I am having to do like everything right now, and I'm really nervous and unprepared. So, if any of you guys have ever had a booth at a con or an art festival, let me know, because, yeah, I just need emotional support from other artists who might have been through this, because it's scary. I am actually really excited to get to talk to humans about my art in person. So, I've always been into art like my whole life. So it's not like I've never talked to anybody about any of this stuff ever. But it's really just been in the last like couple years that I've really put a lot more time and effort into getting back into art and really improving. And oh yeah, so here I'm doing another gradient on the cross one, and the only the only washi tape I could find that fit inside the cross was this discount. Like I got some clearance washi tape from the Halloween section at Michael's, and I was like, well, I mean, it's not going to stay on there, but it is kind of funny right now. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to this event because I want to talk to people about my art and see what they think of it in person. You guys are always super great and supportive on my channel. And every once in a while, I also still post on Instagram, and I'll probably get more into that again soon. But I just want to talk to humans about my art. Apart from the illustration workshop I was at, I really haven't done that in the last couple years, and I'm excited to see just what the general public thinks that aren't artists, like just regular people that I can run into at the grocery store. I would like to know what they think of my art. So we are coming up on the end of this video here, and I would just like to say if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing for the holidays this year. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. And I appreciate your help in getting my channel to grow. So here is a slightly less happy tape pull. So it definitely got under those little crinkly spots there. And it's fine. It took me like 5 minutes, if that, to like just touch that up. But lessons learned for next time. I use masking tape on a piece of wood. Also, this ornament was extra speckled in the background, so I didn't get a really good coat of the blue on there. And so I just turned that into a starry night. And yeah, I think that's a perfectly acceptable way to approach life. If something looks like it's not working the way you wanted it, you do something else, right? Yeah. And so then, after painting them the next morning, I waited for the sun to finally come up, and I set them outside in a tree to take the glamour shots for you guys. And I am really happy with how they came out, and I would love to know what you guys think. And if you have a favorite, let me know. I think my favorite is probably the pear one. I do really like the cross though. And then bonus, here is the fail. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.